Welcome back to Chicago on a 74-degree night in the Windy City. The road team 10 up and 5 down in the last 15 NBA Finals games. That includes all 3 games this series. So the home court has not exactly been an advantage. We're set for the introduction of the starting lineups. Let's join with Ray Clay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls welcome the world's greatest fans to the Chicago Stadium. Tonight's Game 4 of the NBA Finals is between the Phoenix Suns and your Chicago Bulls. Now for tonight's lineups. First for the visiting Phoenix Suns. At forward from Auburn, 6'6" Charles Barkley.
Capacity crowd reacting to the introduction of the two-time defending champion Chicago Bulls. We're set for our reports from the sideline with Ahmad Rashad and Hannah Storm. First to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Mark. Just like Magic Johnson said earlier, the Chicago Bulls will have to make some adjustments. I talked to Scottie Pippen about that. He said one of the things that he thought his team did better than any other team in the NBA is to make game-to-game adjustments. The thing that surprised him, though, was that the Phoenix Suns were able to come in here on Sunday and catch them emotionally flat. He says that will not happen tonight. Their goal is to turn the intensity up as high as possible from start to finish, because the last thing they want to do is go back to Phoenix. Hannah?
Well, Ahmad, one would think that a team like the Phoenix Suns with very little experience in the finals might be uptight at this point in the series, but that is not the case. It's because their coach, Paul Westphal, has told them to have fun at the finals, and that's exactly what they've been doing, led, of course, by Charles Barkley, who you saw joking around with Marv Albert. Charles has been enjoying the city. He took in a baseball game and is even having fun at the mandatory media sessions. My ears. Okay, on a more serious note, as far as the elbow goes, Dr. Richard Emerson says it's about 25% better. Charles is in pain, especially when he extends his arm after his shots, but if you ask him how he feels, he simply says, I feel good, and says it with a smile. Marv?
Yes, thanks, Hannah. Charles does have a most unique way in preparing for the NBA Finals.
Well, I don't think Michael Jackson has anything to worry about.
All right, Hugh Evans, Ed T. Rush, Bill Oakes are the officials. We saw different matchups in Game 3 utilized by Paul Westphal. What are you looking for here tonight?
Paul Westphal is going to change up during the course of the game. Yes, KJ will play Michael Jordan at times, as Horace Grant misses his first jumper, but he's going to change up. You'll see Richard Dumas play him. You'll see Dan Marley play him. And here's one of the adjustments. He wants Dan Marley bringing the ball up the floor a little bit more, take some of the pressure off KJ, and after 62 minutes, he may need some help tonight.
Johnson finding Mark West all by himself. Missed assignment by the Bulls.
Well, what happened was that the Phoenix Suns set a back pick, and both men went to KJ and then hit Mark West for easy two.
And it is Dumas on Jordan here at the start. Pippen with the recovery, trying to hit Cartwright, but Barkley alert was right there for the steal. And here comes Kevin Johnson. A minute gone by, a 2-0 Phoenix lead. Grant with the rebound. Armstrong with Barkley back. So the Phoenix Suns return to the offense. Johnson, 11 for 24, 25 points in Game 3, along with 9 assists. A stellar turnaround performance. Dan Marley hit 6 from three-point range. Mark West fouled by Bill Cartwright, who would not allow for possession.
Had the first play happen, Mark West set a back pick. Both defensive players instead run to the corner. It'll leave West wide open, rolling to the basket. One player, two players go to the corner. No one rotates underneath West for the score.
Back to the live action. Barkley backs in, faces a double team. Dumas is open. Richard Dumas had a strange game on Sunday night. Played quite a bit in the first half. Shot well, did a nice job, but did not see much action in the second half. Bulls have missed their first 3 shots. Cartwright double team. Grant with the recovery. Suns 4, the Bulls 2.
Okay, what Coach Paul Westphal is doing, he got Charles Barkley playing Cartwright, and so he's mixing up his assignments defensively to try to throw the Bulls off.
Marley had his left-hand move cut off by Jordan. Dumas to the reverse. Richard Dumas has been getting the good start early. That has been the pattern, and he's come out with a couple of hoops here in the early going. Phoenix 6 and Chicago 2. Michael Jordan hitting on his first attempt.
Well, that time you had Richard Dumas guard Michael Jordan, and see, Richard Dumas is not used to running off of picks, and they set a pick on him.
Dumas with a beautiful move off the fake to beat Pippen, set up by Barkley.
Scottie Pippen ran over, formed a double team with Horace Grant. It was a double team that was a difficult one because the floor was so spread as Michael goes to the basket, misses, but Horace Grant tips it in. What happened was Phoenix never hesitated. They were attacked against the press immediately. Easy score, 2-on-1 against the back line.
Kevin Johnson, bothered by B.J. Armstrong. They isolate Dumas against Pippen. Pippen plays it well. He stops him. Here's it from the crowd. One on the shot clock. It is waved off. It's a 24-second violation. Excellent defensive sequence by the Bulls. Phoenix 8 and Chicago 6. We're just underway. Game 4 of this best-of-7 NBA final series. The Bulls up 2 games to 1. Game 5 here in Chicago on Friday night. And the Suns want to make it a Game 6 back in Phoenix on Sunday. Michael Jordan is 2 of 3. Marley gets down, so the Suns take advantage on the transition and lead 10-8.
Michael shoots a jump shot. The man guarding him takes off immediately, runs down the floor. The way you stop that is you jam the guy who runs out of bounds, put a big man on him so he can't throw that baseball pass.
Well, again, Mike, that wasn't Michael Jordan's fault that time because Marley is not guarding Michael Jordan. That was Scottie Pippen who was guarding Marley, and that was his fault.
Dumas. And Pippen moves back. Pippen all the way. Bulls and Suns are tied at 10. And Armstrong picks up Johnson in the backcourt. It's back to the pressure of Armstrong against Johnson. bounds. Last touch by Chicago. And it will be Phoenix ball with 8 on the 24. Barkley with his first shot. Pippen works his way inside. Oh, what a move by Scottie Pippen. The Bulls lead by 2.
See, the only problem when you got all these new mismatches, you have to, on Phoenix side, you have to remember they're not used to playing these Chicago Bull players. They're used to playing other Bull players, so now they're going to have to get used to that.
A timeout is taken by the Bulls. 6-0 run for Chicago.
Charles Barkley makes a great reverse pivot move on the baseline, goes up strong to the rim, but the defense by Chicago, Grant from behind blocks it. Charles doesn't quite agree with the call. After the block shot by Horace Grant, Charles Barkley does not agree. Goes after Bill Oates, the official, and lets him know. It looks like Oates is ready to hit him with a technical foul. Instead, he lets it go and walks away. You need to remember the incident that took place in Madison Square Garden with Scottie Pippen.
Yes, that was back in game 2 of the series, a game that saw 6 technical fouls called, and it was Scottie Pippen throwing the ball at the official Bill Oates, who had the quick thumb that night, and Pippen was thrown out. Chicago lost that game to the Knicks 96-91. Knicks had a 2-0 lead, and then Chicago came back, reeled off 4 straight victories. So you're saying that perhaps the trigger-happy situation as Johnson forced it, and a loose ball foul is called on the Suns. Is it your feeling that the league would prefer a bit more compassion when it comes to ejections in critical situations?
I think Bill Oates used excellent judgment that time. I think he'll be the first to admit that he made a mistake in the game at Madison Square Garden. He missed the call. It was not a double dribble or 2 hands on the basketball. Then he compounded the mistake by throwing Scottie out of the game. This time, good decision. Walk away, let it go, let him continue to play.
Jordan with the shot clock running down. Cartwright gets to it.
Plus, Marv, you have to remember, people come to see the stars. They don't want to see them thrown out of the game.
Unless there is a solid reason for it. Cartwright not able to hit. Grant with a spectacular tip. Horace Grant off to a fast start. He has 6. The Bulls 14. The Suns 10. Horace Grant started slowly in game 3. He was involved in early foul trouble, then came on late before fouling out. West off a double team. Rebound, Grant. Well, the Bulls have to like the intensity they're getting here as Armstrong finishes off the break to give Chicago a 6-point lead.
Ahmad Rashad mentioned after that last timeout, Phil Jackson was very happy with the intensity of the basketball team, but they had come out strong, just talking about minor adjustments, but basically overall pleased with what was going on.
Bad shot taken by Kevin Johnson, and the Suns fortunate that it was knocked out of bounds by the Bulls.
Point of emphasis for Phoenix, keep Chicago off the offensive boards, and that's their main man, Horace Grant, who gives them those second shot opportunities.
It is a 10-0 run for Chicago. Meanwhile, Phoenix has missed its last 5 shots. 5-11 remaining in this first quarter, and the Bulls lead 16-10. There's Oliver Miller, the rookie from Arkansas, checking in for the first time, replacing Mark West. Marley not given any room from three-point land. Miller, Barkley, Charles getting the good position, and the Bulls now lead by 4. For Barkley, his first field goal. Dumas on Armstrong. Kevin Johnson back defending against Jordan.
You may have noticed that Michael could have taken a quick shot when he first came down. Steal this time by Richard Dumas in transition.
Behind the back and hits on the drive. What a move by Richard Dumas. He now has 8.
It was a fantastic steal as well, and a great offensive play. Another steal here by Phoenix.
And with Dumas with the numbers, surprised Barkley with that pass, and it was deflected out. by Chicago.
Producing some easy scores of their own by playing good defense. Dumas shoots the passing lane, then gives a little behind-the-back action as BJ reaches for the steal and finishes.
And a reach-in foul. BJ Armstrong called for his first.
Before the steal by Richard Dumas, I mentioned that Michael Jordan had a quick early shot, but instead you saw him pull it out, reverse the basketball. One of the things Chicago wanted to do tonight, use more time up on the 24-second clock. Don't get into Phoenix's tempo, play their tempo. Make Phoenix play defense.
Pick and roll resulting in the turnover. Pippen for Armstrong. Chicago leads by 4 as we come up on 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Dumas, yes. Richard Dumas, 5 out of 6 for 10 points.
Well, since Richard Dumas is playing so well, it's going to be interesting to see if Paul Westphal playing in the fourth quarter, because he hasn't been playing in the fourth quarter.
Sarcastic reaction to that foul call against the Suns. It was called on Barkley. The Bulls went to the line only 9 times during that triple overtime. The Suns 31 times.
Yes, the crowd happy that Michael Jordan is getting a whistle early in the game and a chance to go to the free throw line. They shot so few, only 9 attempts in game number 3, that Michael may have forgotten how to shoot. He only made 3 out of 6.
They changed the foul. It's Oliver Miller called rather than Charles Barkley. Bulls lead by 3. Here's pressure by Chicago. Miller's pass picked off. Cartwright played by Barkley. Jordan, yes. 7 points for Michael Jordan. The Bulls lead 21-16.
Another thing that Phil Jackson wanted his team doing, get Michael Jordan down lower with the basketball. Not almost up at the foul line to post up, but down deep near that low block. That's where he caught it that time. Easy jumper for him.
Charles Barkley said after that triple overtime game the other night, Michael took, what, 43 shots? That's Wally for 3. So Michael took 43 shots. He's going to be icing his elbow, too. Pippen gets inside. We'll talk it over.
If you get Michael down low enough, the double team can't get there soon enough, he'll just shoot it over the top of Kevin Johnson. And then this is one opportunity that Scottie Pippen just couldn't pass up in transition. Miller trying to guard him. No way we pull this out. We score.
Not too many teams have been asked to come back from a triple overtime loss. How difficult was it for Phil Jackson coming back from that 3 overtime defeat? We talked about that with Phil yesterday.
It's usually like 24 hours. It takes a full day to get it out of the system. By last night, I felt pretty comfortable again that, you know, everything was okay. I got it out of my system through viewing it, obviously, and finding out the second time through what I had to see. And then I got it out of my system by talking to the coaches and talking to them about, you know, realistically, where are we here? And then finally, just by getting some exercise, and then that was all right.
You know, it's amazing. Magic and I feel the same way when we're done working with you, and a little bit of exercise makes us feel much better.
What a cheap shot attempt off a serious issue. Just awful, Magic, that I have to live with this the entire season.
Well, I'm not going to get into that one, but I am going to get into this one. Now you see Kevin Johnson is coming back down to relieve some of that pressure, because Phoenix had turned the ball over last time, and I think Paul Westphal wanted to get Kevin back down there.
And Kevin Johnson able to penetrate. The Bulls now lead 23-18 with 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining first quarter. Bulls have hit their last 5 shots. They are 11 of 18. Here is Jordan, that time guarded by Chambers. Chambers! Oh, Chambers not able to hit, but he's fouled. Chambers did well in eluding the block of the 2 guys Charles chasing him, two of the best defenders in basketball, and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen.
Earlier, when Marley ran out, Michael Jordan was in the corner. This time he was at the top of the circle, so he was the deepest man. Chambers took off immediately on the jump shot. He goes to finish it off with a dunk, but the foul makes the ball pop back out again.
Foul committed by Pippen.
Remember, to count as 2 points, the ball must pass through the net to count as 2. There are shots that have gone in and popped back out of the net again, which means you don't get 2 points, Mark.
Tom Chambers, 27 minutes. The other night did a nice job, 5 for 9, 12 points. So the Bulls now lead by 3. Conway, Grant, Pippen up front, Jordan and Armstrong at the guard. Battle between Chambers and Cartwright on the foul session on Chambers.
This is a real key matchup. Chicago, knowing that Tom Chambers is on Bill Cartwright, where they go right into him, and Chambers just called for the push in the back.
Now Jordan guarded by Dumas. Marley over to help, but leaves Pippen open, and Pippen goes to the hoop.
No interior defense that time. No one stepped up to meet Scottie Pippen. Everybody in the stadium knew he was going to fake and put it on the floor. There was nobody in front of him.
Well, I think that's the problem when Phoenix just keeps switching these matchups with Jordan. You know, you got one guy guarding him one time down, the other guy the next time. Horace Grant is called for a foul there on Charles Barkley. So they're having a problem with their team defense because of all the defenses that they keep changing.
Scottie Pippen's going to get the ball. Look at the lane to the basket. Somebody's got to step up and take him before he drives it down the lane. Nobody does. Too easy going in there.
Well, a forgotten man, Rodney McCray, hearing the rumbling from the crowd as he gets set to check in. An injury-hit season for Rodney McCray in his 10th NBA year out of Louisville, coming back from arthroscopic knee surgery, missed 17 games, a disappointing year. In fact, he himself says he feels his contribution has been 0. Early entrance, though, for McCray. Barkley getting the position on Pippen, and Charles with his second field goal. He has 4. The Bulls 25 and the Suns 22. Bulls have hit their last 7 straight as Michael Jordan makes it 4 for 7 for 9 points. And Chambers is fouled again.
See, what you have here is you have Bill Cartwright guarding Tom Chambers, and Tom Chambers guarding Bill Cartwright. Now, we're going to see which one is going to take advantage of the other. The last time down, Bill drew a foul on Chambers. This time, Chambers dropped a foul on Bill Cartwright using his quickness.
And somebody may have questioned why was Barkley taken off of Cartwright, because, you know, it was so good for Charles in the last game. He conserved all that energy playing Bill. Chicago doesn't go to him that much. The reason is because it would have put Chambers on Grant before he was just taken out. Chambers can't change ends of the floor or jump with Grant on the offensive board, so they put Barkley back on Grant.
Chambers now 3 out of 4 from the line. Bulls 27, Suns 23. 1:10 left in the first quarter. Here's Cartwright. Just under 1 minute remaining in the quarter. Jordan putting the move on Marley. Changed his mind. Last touch by McCray.
Here's another problem. Now, who does McCray play? Does he play Dumas, who's very active and quick, or does he play Barkley, who will overpower either Pippen or McCray? Doesn't matter. Right now, they just switched back and put McCray on Barkley, then Pippen ran over to take Barkley.
And Charles Barkley is at 3 for 5. He has 6 points. Bulls by 2. Bulls have led by as many as 7. Michael Jordan on target. He's 5 out of 8. 11 points. Chicago 29. Phoenix 25. Here's pressure by the Bulls. 20 seconds left in the quarter. Johnson gets inside. Armstrong on the run. Chambers getting back. The lead for Pippen. 11 seconds left in the quarter, and Johnson went down in a collision with Armstrong.
No collision, Marv. BJ pushed him down. There's a little thing going on here. I think that BJ felt that KJ had elbowed him. After that, BJ just threw him down on the ground.
KJ tries to hold off to get the ball in bounds when they start pressuring Chicago. BJ felt that him holding off was a little too hard. He shoved him in the head. There's the push to the ground. That's no accident.
And it's being called a flagrant foul on B.J. Armstrong. So Kevin Johnson will go to the line. Kevin Johnson, 82% free throw shooter. Now Trent Tucker has checked in for Bill Cartwright.
The offensive man wants a little room to get it in bounds. The defensive man doesn't like the fact that he pushed him in the head. Another example of when the second foul is caught many times by the officials, not the first.
Just taking another look, little massage move by Kevin Johnson leading to the push. Armstrong, time running out. After one here in Chicago. Hot shooting by the Bulls, 15 for 24, 63%. A physical finish to the quarter for B.J. Armstrong, an unlikely combatant. Richard Dumas had the hot hand for the Suns. He hit 5 out of 6, 10 points in this first quarter. And it's the Bulls 31, the Suns 27. Welcome back to Chicago. Marv Albert, along with the czar of the telestrator, Mike Fratello, Magic Johnson, Ahmad Rashad, Hannah Storm. Bob Costas will be along with the Prudential halftime report. Talked about the sore elbow of Charles Barkley. You ever suffer from telestrator elbow, czar? I know you've seen icing it down after telecast.
I have to deal with that frequently, particularly when given many opportunities in one game, and then in triple overtime games, it's really difficult to bounce back.
And Charles Barkley, despite that injured elbow, 3 of 5, 6 points in the first quarter. Danny Ainge has checked in for the first time. Stacey King has come on, as has John Paxson. Marley with the rebound. Nice fake on McRae. So the Suns now trail 31 to 29. Jordan and Paxson at the guards, with King, McRae, and Williams up front. So Scott Williams, Stacey King, and Rodney McRae on the Chicago front line. And Jordan is being guarded by Marley. Jordan. Barkley gets to it.
Ahmad had mentioned coming out of the timeout that Chicago went with McRae over King. A nice backdoor pass by Charles Barkley to Danny Ainge. Chicago had gone with McRae rather than King for more quickness on the floor because McRae is noted to be a pretty good defender. Now both players are out on the floor in an unusual unit out there for the Chicago Bulls.
First time McRae has played in this series. Seldom used during the season. Jordan, yes, and it counts.
Well, Michael Jordan feels he can beat Dan Marley off the dribble anytime he wants to, and he does it right there, scoop it for 2. Now, that's the reason why they switched KJ and put KJ on him in game 3, and now you can see that Marley is back on him in this game here.
And Michael Jordan upset with himself. 1 of 3 from the line. Chambers was called for that foul. Miller was expecting contact, kicked out by Williams of the Bulls.
Phoenix wastes no time trying to come back at you. If they can get it down, post someone up quickly, they go right to it.
Well, they changed their game now. They're going back to the regular season philosophy, trying to beat you down the court and score at will on you.
Now Barkley facing the triple team.
Charles was so concerned about McCray coming down from the top that he lost sight of Stacey King from behind him.
Jordan with 15. The Bulls lead 35-31. Patrick, you mentioned the Suns' regular season philosophy. They average 113 per game, leading the NBA, second in shooting at 49%. Here's Chambers. Yes, a 2-point Chicago lead.
Well, they felt that in Game 3 that they went back to that philosophy. Got a lot of open shots in Game 3 because they were pushing the ball up early, and they're trying to do that again. Barkley with the steal.
Well, Charles had that diagnosed, and he's tied the game at 35. Had some words of advice for Jordan as he finished it off.
Oh, yeah, he's just letting them know that he's here to try to win a championship. This is this is a very interesting game. You felt that the Bulls were going to take advantage of the situation because they came out strong. Now here comes Phoenix back strong.
Let's go back a moment ago to Michael, who's made a decision here, a concerted effort to go to the basket, 7 for 11 from the floor at this point. And then Charles showing Michael that he wants to play in this game as well. The best for a guy his size that's stepping up in the passing lane and then taking it the length of the floor.
Strong start for Michael Jordan. He's hit 7 of 11 for 15 points, although he did not have a usual Michael Jordan type game on Sunday night. It has been a splendid playoff run for Michael. I asked him, is this the best that he has played all season long?
I think it has been, because I think what's at stake is a little bit more challenging than what was at stake going through the 82 games. You know what I mean? Once you go through it a certain amount of times, you have a monotony starting to set in, so you don't really have the challenge that's there today or at this particular time. And I think that's helped me elevate my game and be more consistent with my play.
You kind of miss the dark sunglasses look on you.
Little attempt at humor there. Michael did have the glasses off. So. Ainge on the follow. 3 minutes gone by in the second quarter. And the Bulls now lead 37-35. Here's Jordan. 19 for Jordan.
There aren't a whole lot of jump shots coming out of Michael Jordan this evening. He's taking it to the rim.
And plus that Dan Marley is back guarding him a lot, and he's just taking Dan off the dribble.
Paxson looking to spot up. Jordan drew the foul. Well, Phil Jackson told us after practice yesterday he wanted Michael going to the rim, and that has been the case here in the first half.
Well, he certainly elevates his game here as he finishes with the right hand. Then that was so good, he decided to come back again and try it with the left. Watch Marley yelling for help immediately. Where's my help? Come on, guys, close the lane down. But a little too late as Michael draws contact.
I couldn't believe that I read in a Chicago paper today that one of the sports writers said that Michael Jordan has lost a step. He looks like he's getting old because he couldn't finish and win the game for him in Game 3. And it just blew me right away.
How quickly they forget.
Michael Jordan with all 9 of Chicago's points in the second quarter, and he has 20 of the Bulls' 40. Make it 21 of 41, and the Bulls now lead 41-35. And here's pressure by Chicago. Now they double up on Johnson. Miller had to save it. The trapping of the Bulls paying dividends here. West for Barkley, and he's fouled by Williams.
That was an excellent read that time by West. Yeah, it was a little shaky getting the ball over the half-court line, but then he had Ainge behind the three-point line or Barkley inside. He picked out Barkley on the inside.
But it was John's fault. John Paxson, he should have stayed with Barkley. Instead, when West pump fake. He thought he was going out to Danny Ainge. John ran that way, and he dumped it right into Barkley.
One of the things coaches emphasize, don't leave until the ball is in the air, then make your rotation out, because great players will ball fake you, get you to run, and then they'll thread the needle in the heart of the defense.
Barkley on the line for the first time, a 76% free throw shooter. Danny Ainge departing, replaced by Richard Dumas, who had the hot hand early at 5 of 6. Both clubs have shot well. Chicago 65% from the floor. West cuts it to a 3-point Chicago lead, and the Suns are shooting 50%.
Paul Westphal, I would think, feels pretty good. He hasn't had to play KJ on Michael a whole lot here so far, and they're still close enough. If he needs him a lot in the second half, he should be fresh.
Michael Jordan, 10 for 14, 23 points. It counts in the foul. Dumas blocked by King, and Dumas will go to the line.
Michael Jordan with the smaller KJ goes down the baseline, then just intends to elevate over the top and get a good look. But one thing that Phoenix has been doing, the long baseball pass, something that must be there in the scouting report. They can take advantage in transition after scores.
This Phoenix team is back to playing their running style basketball. They're running after made baskets. They're running after missed baskets. They're just getting out, beating the Chicago Bulls down the court every single time.
Dumas to the line for the first time, 71% free throw shooter. 3-point play for the rookie Richard Dumas. The Bulls 43, the Suns 41. Michael Jordan scoring all 12 Chicago points here in the second quarter on 5 of 6 from the field. Illegal defense called for the first time. And now the matchup is Kevin Johnson guarding Michael Jordan, as the rotating on the defense continues against Jordan. Miller sitting down. Chambers is back. Now Johnson guarding Paxson. And it's Dumas against Jordan. Foul call. Dumas using the two hands to try and keep Jordan away.
I think that the change took place because Paul Westphal felt Michael's been getting down the baseline a lot. Let me put a bigger guy, a more athletic guy, to perhaps challenge his shot. Problem is, when the offensive guy is backing down, you cannot put two hands in his back.
Dumas goes 6'7", about 205. Here's Jordan. Dumas gambled, went for the steal, and it led to the foul.
That's one of the reasons why Richard Dumas is not on the floor at the end of games right now recently, because he gambles a lot defensively. He breaks the team defense down, goes for the steal, misses. It leads to an easy 2 free throw attempts for Michael.
Kevin Johnson called for the foul, reaching in. Jordan 4 of 6. He has 24 points. Michael Jordan bounced back from a subpar outing in the Knicks series with that 54-point explosion. They trap Johnson. Help from Dumas. Chambers picked up by Pippen. Chambers shooting. Barkley keeps it alive. Barkley. Look out. It is Phoenix ball. Hugh Evans hanging in after the contact with Jordan and still able to make the call. Timeout taken. 6:59 remaining in this first half. Jordan trying to save it. Makes contact with the official Hugh Evans. When we come back, it will be Phoenix possession.
In game 3 with Kevin Johnson playing Michael Jordan, he couldn't get by him on the first step, so he would resort to backing down, trying to shoot over the top of Kevin Johnson. The difference, when Dan Marley's guarding him, Jordan tries to face the basket because he knows he can beat Marley. The difference in foot speed in tonight's game, he goes right around Dan Marley.
Well, the Bulls and Suns have each scored 14 points in this second quarter. Michael Jordan has scored all 14 for Chicago. Offensive foul.
Offensive foul, Phoenix.
with the call on Mark West.
It was a good call. Mark West was not squared up, did not set a good screen, turned into the defensive player who was trying to go underneath the back pick, actually caught him with his arm.
Now every time, let's see if Chicago can make some room in between them and Phoenix. Every time they've gotten a lead, Phoenix had come right back and tied the game.
Jordan guarded by Johnson with a rare miss, but Grant able to keep it alive. Another possession for the Bulls. 6.5 remaining in this first half. The Bulls lead by 4. They isolate Jordan against Johnson. Pippen for 3. Evan Johnson and Marley in the backcourt. Mark West, Charles Barkley up front, along with Richard Dumas. And the foul call, a hold on Paxson.
On that last shot attempt by Scottie Pippen, Richard Dumas ran out right away. And that time, John Paxson covered the backcourt correctly for him so that Pippen wasn't left stranded trying to follow through on a jumper with no ability to get back and cover Dumas.
West working hard for the shot. Mark West is 3 for 3, 6 points. The Bulls now lead 45-43.
He couldn't beat KJ off the dribble on that first step. KJ did a good job keeping the ball in front of him.
Jordan with some room. 11 of 16, 27 points. The NBA Finals record most points in a half, 35 by Michael Jordan. Game 1, last year's series against Portland. Phoenix getting back. Paxson for 3. Yes. The first field goal by a Bull aside from Michael Jordan in the second quarter. Bulls have matched their biggest lead, a margin of 7 with 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Barkley. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's pass deflected, handled by Grant. Now the Bulls lead by 9.
Well, what's happening here is Phoenix got to now slow the game down. And now it wants a timeout by Phoenix. But right now, this is Chicago. It's got their half-court offense going because of Michael Jordan is dominating the game. Phoenix must now find out what are they going to do in their half-court to combat Michael Jordan.
Thank you, Bob. Charles Barkley, the league's MVP, averaged 25 points per game, 5th in the NBA, 6th in rebounding, and averaged 5 assists per game. And a guy who is certainly enjoying being around the scene here during the NBA Finals, both in Phoenix and Chicago.
We mentioned back a few moments ago that when KJ guards Michael Jordan, he has the foot speed to stop his penetration. He does a pretty good job here taking away the lane, so Michael pulls back out. But the one thing Michael is doing now is using screens to free himself up. Now he has the jumper over the top of KJ. KJ just not big enough to get out there and challenge him. I just wanted to test my voice a different octave, that's all.
Magic, he is soprano by golly.
Yes, a lot of soprano in that screen.
Both teams coming out of those timeouts with different ideas in mind. Hannah mentioned that Phoenix pointing out they must box out, keep Chicago off the offensive boards. Ahmad mentioned that Phil Jackson concerned with the fact that Michael's doing all the scoring. Got to get the other Chicago Bulls players involved in the offense was his point.
Well, what happened with Phoenix's side in terms of offensive rebound, see, you got all these guys playing different guys, and they're not used to playing them, and then you can go to the boards on them because they're not used to boxing out.
7-0 run by the Bulls. You saw the foul committed by Jordan, his first. Marley, who has had very few opportunities. Barkley with the save. Paxson gets to it. Remaining in the first half. Chicago seeking to go up 3 games to 1. Phoenix trying to tie the series at 2. Jordan rebounded by Barkley.
Okay, Phoenix needs to slow it down and get a basket finally. They need to run some and get a basket. See, they're rushing their offense and turning the ball over.
Morris Grant with that steal. Here's Pippen. Paxson for three. First half. Bulls by 9. Barkley backing Grant. A strong power move by Charles Barkley.
And Charles, very smart. Chicago didn't come the first time that he had it posted up. They're waiting for him to get to a certain spot. He's trying to draw double teams to kick out. They're not coming to double team until he gets very low, close to the basket. He's got to post up a little bit lower, then they'll come quickly on him.
Shot clock at 3. Caught right. West with the rebound. Here's Johnson.
See, I didn't like that, Marv. They should have slowed it up. Charles had just hit. Come right back to him.
Grant. And the foul is called as Horace Grant hits the floor. Foul on Mark West. That is his second.
Barkley posting up, reading the defense. Everybody is staying at home for Chicago until the last second. Paxson's going to try and come late to double team, but it's too late. You can't let Charles get this close to the basket. He splits him and scores.
Horace Grant, 8 points and 10 rebounds. A terrific first half. Horace Grant named to the NBA's all-defensive second team, but he's the first to admit. Now Michael Jordan will get a rest. 27 points for Michael. 11 of 17 from the field. Scott Williams is back. Horace Grant the first to admit when people say he's the best defensive power forward of the game, he said maybe 1.5. He says Charles Oakley of the New York Knicks is #1 in terms of power forward, but Horace Grant, an excellent defender, and has had a very strong playoff series.
Well, one guy, Oakley, won't let you get the position you want on the low post. The other guy, Horace Grant, he blocks shots and grabs all the defensive boards.
Nice pass. Barkley fouled. Kevin Johnson hitting Charles Barkley on the hop, and the foul is called on Scott Williams.
And just to go back to that thought about defense, Oakley may be a better power forward defensively as far as strength and stuff, but there's other types of defense involved, like shot blocking ability, which this guy has and Oakley really doesn't have.
So Barkley to the line. He's 1 of 2 from the line. Suns now 8 of 10 from the foul line. Bulls 7 of 9. Both clubs have shot well. Bulls at 59% from the field. Phoenix just under 50.
I think this is more important for Phoenix in these last 2 minutes and 26 seconds than it is for Chicago. They cannot let Chicago get a big lead, like a 10-point lead, and get this crowd going.
The other factor, Phoenix not able to go to the major weapon in the triple overtime victory. Not able to go to the three-point shot. They've attempted only one, did not hit it. Holding foul on Ainge. Bulls not giving any room to the long bombers like Ainge and Marley. Have not been able to find the look to get off the shot.
You know why, Mark? Because they stopped Kevin Johnson's penetration. See, once you stop him from penetrating, like they're doing right now in the first half, then those Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen can play up on Dan Marley and Danny Ainge and take away the shots.
Grant 3 of 3 from the line. Game 3 on Sunday in the first half. The Bulls 1 for 1 from the foul line. So a different story here tonight. Bulls by 8. Hearing it from the crowd as he backs his way. Now here's a 3 attempt by Marley, and Dan Marley did get the good look.
And Barkley got the double team he wanted and kicked it out at the appropriate time. You've got to make a decision against Barkley. Do you go? If so, when do you go? And with his passing ability and unselfish play, it's a matter of picking out the right man. And if it's Marley, he has a habit of making three-pointers.
Has hit 6 the other night to tie an NBA Finals record. Oh, Barkley almost picked it off. Paxson for 3. Rebound Grant. able to get to the loose ball. Here's Marley spotting up for another three. Yes! Dan Marley again. And he's brought the Suns within 2.
Because you got 2 3-pointers because Markley penetrated, then they got him in transition and got the second 3-point.
A timeout taken by the Bulls with 1:20 remaining in this first half. Bulls 0 for the last 6. Michael Jordan has returned and gets right to it. 29 for Jordan. The Bulls 57, the Suns 53.
Something missing off of Michael Jordan this evening. The wrist brace on the right arm, the shooting hand is not there this evening.
Chambers with room. It was deflected by Grant. Grant with the block. Jordan around Marley. Jordan all the way! Yes! And it counts!
Well, Michael is dangerous when he gets the rebound and he can go coast to coast. He's going to dunk on 2 guys.
What a lane opens up. No one closes down. You've got to get to Michael sooner. You let him get inside the foul line area. You know he's going to take off from there, elevate, and keep flying to the front of the rim. You've got to get him to pick up that dribble by the dotted line area. The right wrist must be feeling better. The brace is off. He's 13 for 19 from the floor.
Horace Grant called for that loose ball foul, and Charles Barkley will go to the line.
It's just an empty feeling if you're Dan Marley, seeing Michael Jordan come at you full speed in the open court. You're backing up, you're on your heels, you turn and look for help, and there's no one there.
Well, remember when I was telling you in game 3, he did not come at anybody with a head of steam because he was tired. Well, tonight he's not tired, and he's the most dangerous when he's coming at you with a head of steam. He can go left or right.
2 days of rest certainly helping Michael. Did play some golf, I'm told, yesterday, but 31 points in this first half, 20 of the 31 here in the second quarter. He has 13 field goals. That is 1 field goal away for an NBA Finals record, most field goals in 1 half. That is shared by Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan. Bulls lead by 5 with 48 seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, the only thing Michael hasn't done in the first half is come up with a steal and knock down a 3-pointer. So we'll see if he heads to his line.
However, despite the exploits of Jordan, the Suns are only 4 down.
That's what I was getting ready to say, that Paul Westphal must be feeling really good about his position in this game right now.
Armstrong. Last touch by the Bulls. Is trying to beat Chicago in transition. Barkley tried the 3.
Not so sure with the time remaining. It was just at 29 seconds when Charles went up for the shot. Might have been better for him to run it down. As you said, Magic, they should be feeling good. Only 4 down. They could have run it down right to the end and given Chicago very little time to try and score back at him.
That has not been one of Charles's forte, shooting from downtown. Michael Jordan, 14 for 20. He has 33 points. Final seconds. Marley. Yes, and the foul. Potential 4-point play. The 3-pointer by Marley, and he's fouled by Jordan with 7/10 of a second remaining in the half.
Well, I tell you, Dan Marley has become a shooter in the NBA now. In the first couple of years, he couldn't shoot with any distance. He wanted to drive. Look at here. He takes the foul and still knocks it down. That's a sign of a guy who not only can shoot, but he's also big and strong where he can take the foul and still knock it down.
So you're saying in his early going in the NBA, you'd give him the outside shot.
Yeah, before he wouldn't take it, he just wanted to drive. And that's what shows you what hard work will do for you.
Barkley gets it off, would have counted. So the Suns sparked by some thunder late second quarter. Dan Marley with 13 points. He's hit 3 from long range, 3 from 3-point territory. Michael Jordan, 14 for 20 for 33 points in the first half. 22 of the 33 in the second quarter, and he has tied an NBA Finals record a record that he shares with Isaiah Thomas. Most field goals in a half in the NBA Finals. He is 14 for 20. The Bulls at the half, 61, and the Suns, 58. Welcome back to Chicago Stadium. The usual sellout crowd on hand. Next season will be the finale for the Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks here at the stadium. The new building still under construction. Just across the street will be open for business. Barkley from Marley, and the Suns move within one. At one stretch, the Bulls led by as many as 9. Armstrong and Jordan open up in the backcourt. Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant are up front. Pippen has been very quiet. Cartwright with a show the ball move on West. Grant shooting. Bulls 63. The Suns 60. Setting Phoenix, Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley in the backcourt. Richard Dumas, Mark West, and Charles Barkley up front.
Some team is going to have to take control of this game defensively and not offensively. Whoever wins the game will be because of defense.
West blew the layup. Armstrong pushing down. Jordan for 3. Michael Jordan, his first 3-point field goal attempt. Kevin Johnson only 1 of 6, 3 assists, 2 turnovers in the first half. Dumas posting up Armstrong, help from Cartwright, and Dumas lost it.
Try to hold it up there with one hand, that's what happens.
Pippen. Beautiful lead for Scottie Pippen, and a quick 20 taken by Paul Westphal.
Well, right here, Paul Westphal is going crazy. He's telling his team, what are you doing? Let's stick with our offense. Let's stick with what's got us back into this game.
Maybe Michael Jordan can do this. Maybe Charles Barkley can do this, depending on the size of the hands. But Dumas, use 2 hands when you pass the basketball, Richard. Otherwise, you're going to drop it against the aggressive double team. And when you turn it over against Chicago, they come back at you quickly and score.
So 5-point lead for the Bulls in this game 4 of the best of 7. Game 1, it was Jordan with 31, Pippen with 27, and a victory for the Bulls. They did it in game 2 in Phoenix, led by Jordan, who had 42, Barkley with the 42. Game 3, it was Marley hitting from 3-point land, tying an NBA Finals record, hitting 6 from downtown. Barkley rebounded by Cartwright. Charles Barkley 6 of 13. Michael Jordan once again with the extension, once again taking it to the basket.
But see, this is what happens when you got so many guys trying to guard Michael Jordan that's not used to guarding. He just takes Dumas, head fakes him to the baseline, comes back to the middle, and scores on him.
If you go back to the first half, we showed you him crossing over right to left. That time he gave you a little zigzag dribble. He started with the crossover, but came back to the right hand to come down the lane.
36 for Jordan. His 33 points in the first half, 2 away from an NBA Finals record. He scored 35 for the record in game 1 against Portland last season. Barkley. 8-point Chicago lead, looking to add to it. Barkley broke it up. Upset, felt that he should have picked it off. It'll be Chicago ball with 17 on the 24.
Up to this point in the game, Charles Barkley is 1 for 8 from the outside and 4 for 5 now from the inside.
Cartwright played by Barkley. Out of 5 on the 24. Out of 3. Jordan. And Barkley with the rebound. Pops it down. Dumas ahead of the field. Able to elude Jordan. The Bulls 68 and the Suns 62. Richard Dumas has 15.
What a, that was one great outlet pass.